Okay, let's unpack this. We are going deep into a story that is just absolutely harrowing. It's a personal account of a discovery that goes so wrong so fast.
And the person at the center of this, we have to remember, he'd already sworn off this kind of thing. He'd sworn off cave diving for good.
Right. After a really traumatic experience at a place called Cathedral Caverns, he'd seen it collapse. He'd seen what the earth can do when it wants to.
So this story, it really begins with a promise being broken. He made a vow to himself, to his own safety, and then something pulled him back in.
And that something was a hole, a simple hole in the ground on a property he had just bought.
It sounds so benign, doesn't it? Just a little depression in the limestone ridge, a small collapsed passage.
But here's the first strange detail. This hole, it wasn't supposed to be there. It wasn't on the property map, not on the topography surveys, nothing. It was, for all intents and purposes, a ghost.
So he does what you do. He calls the real estate agent, Karen. And her reaction is, well, it's just so dismissive.
Completely. She basically says, oh, these lands are full of little pockets like that. Nothing dangerous.
Nothing dangerous. That phrase just hangs in the air, you know? It's that official voice telling you there are no secrets here, nothing to see.
Which, of course, just makes him more curious. And that's when he calls his partner, Ryan.
Ah, Ryan. The story describes him as having this familiar, hungry gleam in his eye. He's the reckless energy, the push that our protagonist needs to ignore all his own warning signs.
And their goal is immediate. They're going to excavate it. They're going to be the first to enter what Ryan calls a virgin cave.
The work itself is just brutal. Hours and hours of digging, pulling out this fused limestone rubble just to create an opening.
And it's not a doorway. It's an opening just barely wide enough to squeeze through on your stomach.
That's where the physical horror really starts. He describes having to time his breathing because every time he inhaled, the rock would press into his ribs, squeezing him.
And then the cold hits. Ryan, who's ahead, says the air inside is cold as hell. It's stagnant and just, unnaturally colder than the air outside.
But then, you know, that claustrophobia, that struggle, it all just vanishes in an instant.
Because the tunnel opens up.
It opens into a massive chamber, a huge arching ceiling, these jagged stalactites hanging down, and in the middle of it all, a pool of perfectly clear water.
It's the ultimate dream for an explorer, to find something so pristine, so untouched, historic even.
But even in that moment, in that beautiful, huge space, he feels something, a strange weight to the air, a kind of dread.
Yeah, but he pushes it down, right?
Yeah.
He dismisses it. They have work to do. They start setting the guideline.
That guideline, it's their lifeline. It's their tether back to the real world, back to the sun. And by focusing on that routine, he ignores that first deep gut feeling.
A huge mistake.
The first of many. Because as they move deeper, the cave itself starts to get strange. The geology is just wrong.
What do you mean by wrong?
Well, the stalagmites, for example, they're not the normal cone shapes you'd expect from dripping water. They're twisted.
Twisted?
Yeah, like rope caught in a slow-motion spiral. Some are even hollowed out with these little holes, suggesting some kind of erosion that wasn't caused by water. Something else was shaping this place.
Okay, that's weird.
It gets weirder. They find bones.
Oh, no.
And not a full skeleton, which you could maybe explain away. No, these are just scattered pieces, a jawbone with all the teeth ripped out, some small vertebrae.
Like something was eating in here.
Exactly. Some were small, rodent-like. But others were, and this is the direct quote, longer, thicker.
Ryan tries to rationalize it, doesn't he? He says maybe animals just got trapped.
He tries. But our protagonist, his stomach is just in knots at this point. And right then, they hear it.
The tapping.
A soft, hollow sound, tapping against stone somewhere deeper in the cave.
Again, they try to explain it away. Shifting sediment, the cave settling, normal cave sounds.
But it doesn't feel normal. It feels intentional. Like the cave is announcing that it knows they're there.
Mm-hmm.
And it's leading them somewhere.
It leads them to the drawings.
The petroglyphs. And this is where the story shifts from a physical threat to an ancient documented history of terror.
It's like they found a warning label.
A whole instruction manual for their own doom.
Yeah.
And it's laid out in phases on the cave walls.
Phase 1 is what you'd expect, right? Prehistoric art, figures of people, animals, spears.
Standard stuff. But then comes phase 2, and the art changes. The figures are running now. They're terrified.
Running from what?
From a creature. But it's not drawn like the other animals. It's just this mess of lines. A distorted, huge shape, and the drawings show spears and torches doing nothing to it.
So thousands of years ago, people knew that this thing was tough. It was something other.
Something they couldn't fight. And then there's the final phase Phase 3, it's a sequence.
The most terrifying sequence.
You see the figures fleeing, being forced into a cave that looks just like the one they're in, and you see the creature, that mess of lines blocking the entrance.
And the very last image.
The last carving is just one single tiny figure alone, trapped inside the cave.
Wow.
So it's not just a warning that something lives here. It's a warning that this place, this specific cave, is a trap. It has been for millennia.
And they see this, they understand it, and they keep going.
They push through another tight squeeze into the next chamber, and the moment they get through, that feeling of awe from the art is just shattered.
By the sound.
That sound is back, but it's not a tapping anymore. It's a sharp, hollow, wheezing noise, and it is much, much closer.
And then they see it. Another skeleton.
Yeah, nestled against the far wall. And this one is different. It's human-shaped, but bigger, thicker bones. Ryan says it looks like a Neanderthal skeleton or something like that.
But it's not the size that's the most terrifying part. It's the damage.
Yo, the ribs are shattered, and all over the bones, there are gnaw marks.
Unmistakable.
There is no rationalizing this one away. Ryan just says it out loud. Something ate this thing.
And in that exact moment of realization.
So their lights flicker, just for a second. A distraction. And from the darkness, something lunges.
It's just a blur. They describe it as a fast, twisted shape. Skin stretched too tight, pale and patchy.
It doesn't go for the kill. It hits Ryan hard, injuring his arm. And then, just as quickly, it's gone. It retreats back into the dark.
Leaving nothing behind.
But that sound, that mocking, horrible wheeze echoing through the chamber.
It was playing with them.
It wasn't a wild animal attack. This was intelligent. It disabled one of them. It separated them psychologically. It wanted them to run. It turned their escape into a hunt.
They have to get out immediately. They scramble for the guideline, their only way back.
But now the cave that was just difficult to navigate is a death trap. Ryan's injury is slowing them down. Every tight passage is a struggle.
They can almost see it. The blue-gray light of the entrance. They're so close to the surface. In that final, narrowest passage.
And Ryan stops. He just stops moving.
Why? What happened?
He says his hand, the one that was hit, it's completely numb. He says, I can't close my fingers.
Oh my God, the nerve damage.
It's crippled him. He can't pull, he can't grip, he's stuck. And at that exact moment, the sound changes again.
The wheezing stops.
The wheezing stops, and it's replaced by a low, wet breathing noise. Inches behind them, in the tunnel.
It's right there.
It's right there. Ryan, in a last desperate act, shoves the protagonist forward. There's a sharp, sudden gasp. And then
silence.
Absolute silence. The protagonist is moving, scrambling, but Ryan's just gone.
He makes it out. He bursts out of the hole into the cool night air, but he turns around.
He scrambles back to the hole, reaches in, screaming for Ryan, and from inside the tunnel, he hears it.
The sound of it. Eating.
A wet, disgusting crunch, the sound of muscle tearing, of bone splintering, a muffled, sickening, chewing noise. Ryan wasn't just trapped, he was being consumed.
And then the cave itself. It finishes the job.
As this thing screams from inside. The ground starts to tremble. The rocks and stones they'd spent hours clearing, they just tumble back in.
Sealing the hole.
Sealing it completely, violently. 1 second, there's a passage to hell. The next, it's just solid rock. The entrance is gone, erased.
And the aftermath is just, it's so agonizing. Because what do you do? Who do you tell?
He tries digging. He calls 911, but what can he possibly say? The search teams come, and they find nothing. They can't even find the hole he's talking about.
He tells them the truth. He tells the police everything.
Yeah.
The pale skin, the wheezing, the gnaw marks.
And the most chilling detail of the entire story, for me, is the official response. He says the police listened, but they didn't write it down.
They just erased his truth. The survivor is left with this ancient, horrifying knowledge of what lives under his land, and no one in the world believes him.
The horror isn't just the monster. It's knowing something so profound, so real, and having the entire modern world just dismiss it as a bad dream. Ryan's disappearance becomes a simple missing persons case.
The evidence is gone. The ground is settled. The official story is that nothing ever happened there.
But it leaves you with that final, terrifying thought, doesn't it? How many other little pockets of land dismissed by some authority as nothing dangerous are just waiting, holding these ancient, hungry things, quietly waiting for the next person to get curious and start to think.